Cool adventure, an hour from home.
Flag, come on. Oh, oh, this is my PB. Now that's what we came here for.
Does life get any better than this? That's a thing.
Fire in the hole! Oh! There we go. That's more like it. That has to be the best thing I made this year. Oh. 6 a.m. in the morning. It's cold. 11 degrees Fahrenheit, whatever that is for the rest of the world in Celsius, I don't know. And we're about an hour from my house in Maine. See if we can't get on some pike today. Let's start by flipping out the spikes on my boots because there is no snow on top of the ice. The bank's pushed up here, we gotta get over that. And look like a little bit silly. The slick ice with the studs means I can pull the snow dog forward, but if I start to spin out, the rear end sleds catch up to me and try to pass me. So I gotta always be accelerating and very minute adjustments. After driving out and poking a few holes to check the depth and thickness of the ice, it seems like everything's copacetic, and I'm gonna push on to halfway up the lake where there's some features. I'm looking for like the depths being deep around me, but a spot that pushes up to relatively shallow. I was gonna go a bit further up, but once I found this pressure ridge, I could see that the ice is only 2.5 inches thick, and I'm just not gonna risk it and cross it. The features that are just 30 feet away seemed promising, and I did see something here on the fish finder. Let's punch some holes, put some traps in, and see what we can turn up. Flag. Flag, 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 flag. Come on. Come on, first fish. Oh! First one of the day. Woo! Woo! Little fella. Beautiful little fella. Look at him. Isn't he cute?
You cute, but you dumb.
Oh, even their gills are toothy. I forgot about that. That'll make a cool fish print if I don't get a bigger one. Oh, we got another flag down the other end. Running. Flag down the other end on the first set. Oh, fingers are getting cold. Oh, come on. It's right off sideways. I don't feel anything. I think he stripped it. Yeah. Lost him. Yoo-hoo! Load him back up. I'm gonna keep them in a bag so they don't freeze up. I do need a picture of the eyeball for the Gyotaku. Oh, some beautiful colors there. That'll make the painting the Gyotaku eyeball, the eyeball on him after I do a Gyotaku of him, or a different one. We came here a couple years ago, me and Amos and I, and met Aaron, and we only made it halfway out because he had come out with his sled earlier and it was just so slushy. We caught pike that were maybe a couple inches bigger than that one the whole time. I'd like to set up the shack and see if I can't jig with the Panoptics and make some breakfast. I got some stuff to make a breakfast sandwich. Beautiful day. I need to make a coffee though. That's what I need the most, is to make a coffee. This is where I want the electric snow dog. Pulling up on these holes, I drilled them, and when I poked the fish finder through, I don't know, I've never been suspicious of this making noise on the ice. And I saw a video on it, and Chris always says that, and I'm always like, because he said it, I'm like hard up against it, like, no, that's baloney, blah. You know, stomp around, doesn't matter, just, you know, don't try to be super duper loud. I drive from hole to hole with the snow dog catching fish in the past, but maybe I'd be catching more fish with an electric snow dog instead of brrr, like just creeping along. It'd be just as quiet as me walking on the ice. Food for thought. I'm wondering. Flag. Flaggy flag. Oh yeah, she's turning. She's turning. Come on. Get some. There we go. Come on. Come to daddy. Ooh. Oh! We're gonna fight. Oh! 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 It's freaking... This is my PB for sure. This is my PB. Ah! Now that's what we came here for. Yeah! Woo! All right. For all you pike guys, you're like, oh, that's your PB, you're lame. You gotta come fish with us. Well, that's my PB for sure. Yes! Woo! Slimy. Come on, open up for daddy. Oh, you choked it, didn't you? You had to choke it. I need the long pliers, huh? All right, you hold still, and I'll get this out. Oh, there we go. Good thing you guys got a big access through the gills. Yeah, that wasn't so bad. Oh, flag! Jeez, I'm gonna let the... That's a fish print right there. Ah! My finger's out of his toothy gills. It's spinning! Spinning! We're spinning! Gonna go for the slide. Oh, perfect slide.
It's just sliding on your knees. Is it?
Oh, I think I lost it. Missed my chance. Ugh, such a bad habit. Such a bad habit. Trap upwind, throw my line, downwind. There we go. So that's a pro tip right there. If you ever go out ice fishing, make sure you pull your trap, set it upwind, and strip your line as you're pulling it out of the hole downwind, because otherwise it makes a big mess. Getting it back in the hole, get back on the bite, catch that big fish like that. That's the key, right? You want to win. You don't want to spend all day out there struggling. Time to get out the monster. Flag. Flaggy flag. Flag. Come on, I just want to get my shack set up and make some breakfast. Stop catching them. Oh, fish! Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Jeez, maybe I moved the shack over here. Oh, another nice one. Another nice one. Oh, a little smaller. Whoa, right up out of the hole. That's a decent fish. Come on. Come on. Woo! He's biting me. Look at that. What are you doing? Bad fishy. That is halfway between the first one and the second one. Perfect. Beautiful pike. I get the shed on this hole, get a camera on it, jig. Right there, the hole right in the center there. Got a door going that way, door going that way. That's so cool. It's the first time I've used one of these little jiggy things. I usually do it by hand, a little hammer, and pound and turn and pound and then it pops and then you gotta start all over. That's nifty. Oh, we got a flag on the far end. Should have pulled that one and brought it over here. It's not that far, but GoPro makes it look like it's 100 miles. Looks like I might have, no. Thought I had something on there. Might have. Oh, I can see my bait right there. I guess he was still on there, but he's dead. Instant mushroom coffee from Rise. For like a black coffee drinker like me, it's just not, it's not quite coffee. It does the, in a spot like this, it's kind of nice, but I'm too into the taste of actual coffee. But I certainly do like it for little things like this. Yeah, it's almost like as if hot cocoa had no sugar or something. Alright, let's finish our setup. Bloop, there she goes. Oh, look at that under the ice. That's so cool. You can see the transducer from the Garmin Panoptics. Too cool. So I made this little jig, and it folds up, fits right into the case with this thing, and yeah, because it's laser cut, fits right in there. Now they got the 3D printer, maybe I can make a better model that has some sort of a clicky thing, because I don't have anything that stops it right here. I got this really awesome rod that somebody made me. Austin. Green tip, pretty solid. I put 20-pound test, and I got this one of these little things I could put on there. Shake that bell, jiggy jig, and I put a one of these pissy fun drop reels. I had purchased a couple of those to like change out all of my reels to these drop ones where you hit the trigger and she drops. You know, I love these. This is the first one I bought from Pissy Fun, which is the same as the ice suit and stuff. Before we ever started doing those collaborations in the last couple of videos there. We'll see how that works, I'll let you know. The guides are premium, titanium, which is super sweet. So like, you know, being rough on my gear, the guides, boing, pop right back up. So don't go trying that on your rod and you're like, oh, my guides pop back up, you know. Oh, my guides pop. If they're not titanium, you're just gonna bend them down. Got my own plastics here that Chris and I poured. Smells like it might have a little anise or garlic or something on it. There we go. See if we can't find it on the camera. Perfect drop. Boop. Oh, stir up some dust. Boink, boink. Ring that dinner bell for him. Come on. Come on. Gotta think like the fish, right? You know, oh, I'm on the bottom, gonna just nibble me up some little whatever wormy things in the soil down here. No, I'm gonna flutter around all happy that I ate, that there's food here, and not worried. I'm invincible. I'm a little white rubbery minnowy thing and nothing can hurt me. I'm pretty sure it's one of the ones that Chris made. Wouldn't he be jealous if I catch a nice big fish on it? Catch it on camera. Maybe instead of just sitting here, I'm gonna check my traps. Got my little hook setter board. Not that I think something's gonna come and smash this while I'm not here, but I guess it could. I don't know if this rod even works with my hook setter. I was thinking more I could just use it to prop my rod up. Ugh, it's too short. That would just break the rod if I bring it around far enough for that to get on there. So it's just a support to hold hold it there. And if something goes after it, well, it's dead stick, then that's cool too. I don't see anything on the Garmin just now, so I'm gonna check the traps and make some breakfast. My new egg holder, check this out. Look at that. We 3D printed this. And it does break eggs if you drop it from waist height. I don't hesitate to do it. That's not rough. That sounds so bad. Oh, that guy broke.
And that guy.
And that guy?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, it also separates your yolk for you. I might improve upon it, but it's so far it's a good design. It's not something you could drop from the roof necessarily. You need to see Mark Rohlberg for that, right? Oh yeah, pita. Adobo on there. Slap that on there. You're over here. Keep it simple. Kimchi sprouts. Oh. Ooh-wee. This is my other latest invention. It's called half a paper towel. Like, bringing a whole paper towel roll takes up so much. And if you're going to use it as toilet paper in an emergency situation, so I just took it over to the bandsaw and cut it in half. I feel like that's like the newest thing since sliced bread. Maybe other people have already thought of that, but it's so sick. It gives you the small, you can have a small little napkin square, not waste too much tree, or you have a bigger piece and, you know, fold it in half, and you got yourself your paper towel plate, because who doesn't use paper towel plates, right? That's the way to win. You got a paper towel plate and your little hand wiper. Boom. Quick breakfast. So simple. Lord, thank you for this food. Thank you for the 3 beautiful fish and this beautiful day in Maine. In Jesus' name, amen. Whew! Praise God. Sprouts. Does life get any better than this? A little adventure, an hour from home. Before I head west for some new videos out there. We're gonna try and actually spear some pike and catch some rainbow trout and all kinds of new and interesting things. And after my friends showed up, we kind of fished without the cameras on until we had a good bite. I had traded out one of my traps with one of theirs because it was producing more bites, and I wanted to be sure that these young kids got a chance to haul in a nice fish. They do mostly trout fishing. And sure enough, he hauls in the winner of the day. It was a good 10 inches longer than the one that I caught, which turned out to be 28 inches. And I was so glad to see him get to catch that. We'll do a fish print of his fish. And then I did come inside for a second and managed to catch this nice little perch on this slightly bigger lure here. Sparrow and Abby joined us about 2 o'clock, and Sparrow made a little message for you guys on the ice. It was about 30 feet tall and about 70 feet long. She's pretty creative, that one. She might get it from her dad. Then finally, at one point when I was inside the ice shack getting hand warmers for people, a big pike came in. And he just sits there and looks at it for a second. And when he finally does take a bite, though, I didn't set the hook. He didn't look like he choked it all that far, and with their hard pellet in their mouth, I was concerned that I wouldn't be able to set the hook, but I think he didn't quite like that metally feel to the spoon that came down, so hopefully we can get on that for the next adventure when I'm up in Minnesota. I'm going to bring that with me. If you remember in the last video, we went duck hunting, and we did a Gyotaku of the duckwing, which turned out pretty cool. The winners for that episode is first Alex Leatherwood and second place is Cynthia McElvin. Shoot us an email within the week and we'll send that painting off to our first place prize winner first. And if we don't hear from him, Cynthia, it's all yours. All right, a couple more successful Gyotakus, or as successful as it can be. I'm gonna scrub off the paint so we can cut these up for food. So I'm gonna attempt to get it dried out with the dry brine, and then onto the Z-grill for some smoked flavors. So I want a really strong flavors, like in a fish, maybe a fish dip, but specifically this time a sushi thing. And it turns out the salt works so much better for scrubbing them down that that's got to be my new method. We'll see if it works for getting the ink back off. And you know where I learned that technique? YouTube Shorts. Some random short of another guy doing a Gyotaku, which I'm pretty sure is a fake. He did a very detailed fish with these big scales. And if you watch it, it's like he's brushing on one color of paint, and when he peels it off, it just so happens to have all the colors and the fish is perfect. I think what he actually did is did a single color Gyotaku, went back and painted details, and then pretended to paint the fish, and then wets it and pulls off a finished print that he had done all the extra details after. Because you don't do the eyeballs and peel it off with a finished eyeball. I've never heard of that or seen of that as a method, or anybody managed to accomplish something like that. So take that one over to friends that we're gonna do the fish fry with tonight, and then clean up mine. So I flayed up a couple other ones, and you can see the meat that we got out of it. I'll show you how to fillet so you don't get any bones. So between the slime and all that, I can see why people are throwing them on the ice, or they throw them back even. So first one is across the top. Just right in the center, go right down, and down the fish to the fins. Now you got that. There's bones that go this way down into it. Like, you don't have a lot of fish here that looks like, oh, there's a huge chunk of meat, just cut that piece out of the middle. Well, that's not how it works. See that little bit? Those are the start of the bones, and they go down in at an angle like this. So I gotta get cleanly along here, and if I feel the knife hit the bones, then I've screwed it up and I didn't manage it. But I mean, all of this is this big bony piece. Lay this off. Oh, made a horrible job of this. This is like, so there's one piece. That's not very much. It's been late in the day and I've already done a lot of these, so I think I might have just gotten lazy and messed that one all up. But this is like got multiple strips of bones in it. So those pieces, that's all you get out of it, the top so far. We'll do the back. And these are pretty easy ones, just like any other fish. There you go. Another piece, no bones. Now, the body. Another set of bones that go down in this way. So we gotta cut down in along here. Oh, no point in going too far down towards the belly because it just gets messier. And there we go. Didn't do too bad on that one. A little bit of messed up. Ugh, knife dealing with this fish because I was chopping through the chunks is getting duller, so I just wasted a little bit on that one. It is a pain in the neck pike to deal with. There we go. One last piece of boneless meat from that one fish right there. You would think there'd be a lot more. If this was a striper, I think the pile would be twice as big. Now we got lobster bait for when we put the traps back out. It'll save us some time running around. We'll put that on the brine, and then we'll put it on to smoke after a day of resting and marinating. We'll have ourselves some beautiful sushi. So like half sugar, half kosher salt. Whew, look at all that liquid. It totally melted all of the liquid out of the fish. Can't wait to see what this tastes like after we smoke. So we're gonna let it dry for another 4 hours or so, air dry, and then we'll Japanese barbecue sauce it and smoke it. Great. Now that it's dried for like couple hours. I think it's been about 3 hours. Oh yeah. It's almost like jerky already. See, look at how firm it is that it doesn't just like flop like fish. Let's see, we got all our sushi making stuff, but still needs 1 more hour of marinating. Toss it in the bag. I don't see any, like sometimes you'll see on these, like fish, freshwater fish, you'll see little spots and flakes, and those are little eggs and stuff like that, egg spots, and these are extremely clean. That all get cooked just fine, cooked out of it, but it's not nearly as gross as the stuff like the worms in the Hawaii and the whatever fish that was that Greg and I had. I was pulling out long strands of worm before I cooked it. This is just a Japanese barbecue sauce that I like. We're not gonna get too fancy and make it up ourselves this time. We're gonna do a real slow super smoke. I want a lot of flavor, almost going for like it's a little too rich if you're just to eat it like beef jerky, because it's gonna be part of sushi roll here, and you want it to be strong when the other flavors that are in and around it are kind of bland, like eel. There we go. Pop that in the fridge for an hour and make some rice. Rinse it the rest of the way after it's soaked for an hour. It was interesting on the box, it says in a rice maker you're using 1 rice to every 2 waters, and we did that, but in a pan it's a 1-to-1 ratio. I like the rice cooker. You put it in, you fix it, forget it, and it seems to come out really good this way. Let's see, rice, I go medium and start. All right, let's fire up the Z grill, get her warmed up, turn it on. 160 super smoke. I just use like almost any old pellet for this. I go through so many pellets because I use this thing so much. I'm always going, I don't have time to order the best one online. There's probably a subscription service somewhere where you can subscribe and you get a certain amount each month, or I could do that with Amazon. Get her up to temp. She's been out for a little bit. I do love that thing. And that one's actually got it's thicker, the more expensive one, insulated, so it keeps that nice temperature easier without burning as many pellets. All right, well, we wait for all that stuff to do its thing. We got a Gyotaku to finish. Let's put the eyeballs on the pike. Well, let's see. This is the first one I did, which is this time gonna go to you guys, but we're gonna draw the winners from a new area. We're adding a donate button to help out the people that are in distress in California because of the fires. So for those of you that donate, we're gonna draw our winner from that pool of people for this one, and we'll be able to see that in the under the donate section of who's donated, and we'll draw a winner for the pike painting, which is enormous. Look at the size of this thing. That's awesome. I already did the ones for my nephews. Those ones I was kind of on a time crunch because we ran down there with the family, my girls and stuff, to go and cook and eat the fish with them, which I have to say, they looked like beer battered haddock, and we used some of the catch and cook, J. Siemens catch and cook stuff that we sell on the website now, Fowler's Makery.com. If you haven't been over there yet, check it out. Our whole line of Gyotaku pictures, paintings, posters, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies. It was just such a good fish. I managed to do it without there being any bones. That's one of people's biggest complaints with pike is like, it's disgusting, filthy, giant pike full of bones, and they're such a pain in the neck to deal with, and people leaving them on the ice and just not doing anything with them. Well, we cleaned them, cooked them, ate them, loved them, made Gyotakus of them, and the rest is going to, we're using everything but the, like they say with the pig, everything but the oink. You know, we're using all of it. The rest of it's going into the lobster traps. We'll turn those into lobsters. And then the lobster shells we turn into compost, and the compost we turn into vegetables that we can use for our cooks. And I mean, it's a full circle. I'm pretty happy with it. You know, we're having a lot of fun with it. A few dry spots, you know, here, and didn't pick up some detail I was hoping to, but their jaw, it picked up way more detail. I don't know if I painted too far around it, but it's just a hard fish to print altogether. So I'm pretty happy that it even ended up like this. And I see I messed up a little bit by like pressing and then repressing, and that's what causes some of this little weirder silhouette-y stuff. There's like double printing. You really want to press it once. But stay tuned for that in another video on the extra channel. We're going to do a whole Gyotaku kit that's for sale, so you can do this too. And I'll go over exactly what it takes. With a smaller fish, a flat fish like the crappie from Chris, which turned out so amazing that I did for him there, and we eBayed. But like, that's a smaller, flatter fish. It makes it so much easier. And a hard fish, not a slimy fish. This being slimy, being bigger, the technique changes a teeniest bit, and it's so much harder with coming around it without ripping the paper. A lot to it, and I still have a lot to learn, and I'm just having so much fun doing it and sharing it with you guys. We'll go to Quinny Paint Gallery, bring up my picture of the eyeball, reverse it so it's the same way as the fish, crop it a little bit, save it, and have to deal with an ad.
3 days later.
Alright, now we're in the app. It renders it, and you have all these different styles to pick from. And I try to pick the one that's the boldest. This one seems to be the best. It's Flower C1. It's almost like cheating because I turned it into a watercolor. I mean, if you're interested, I feel like if you wanted to do art, even if you're not doing this, like you could turn any picture that you want, a picture of your property, picture of your vehicle, your truck, your deer you shot that year, into a watercolor with the app, and then you could just kind of copy that. It gives you some more like defined parameters for us that are maybe not as creative as the instant artist who's got it naturally coming to him. I had an art teacher once, and tell me if this is not like kind of bogus, but they said they came around, they looked at, and I was in the advanced art class. They came around, looked at all of our stuff, and they said, "Oh, that's nice." You know, she was a substitute, mind you, and she said, "That's nice." She's like, "You're very artistic. You're not an artist, but you're very artistic." I was like, I got so offended, like really quickly at that. Like, what the heck? Why are you, well, you know, what are you talking about? And even the other kids started sticking up for me, and like she was so quick to say that, it was a beautiful drawing that I had done and stuff. But even then, I was doing a lot of my beautiful drawings based off of like, I'd look at a flat image of like, back then I was designing clothes and stuff. So I'd be designing them in the art class and then making them in the home ec class. And I made dresses for girls for prom and things like that. So I think I was actually designing my prom dress. But I was kind of like, I was looking at magazines and I drew the girl from the magazine and then took the design that I had originally taken it from Joanne Fabrics, the pattern thing, and then I added in my drawing the modifications that I had made, and my sketches kept evolving. So I don't know if I'm an artist or if I'm just artistic, and I make use of the skills that I have, but I feel like anybody could be artistic. With anything, the more you practice, the more it becomes a real thing for you. And like at some point down the road, I'll have a picture of the eyeball and I'll just see that in that translation. Kind of like learning French, I think, right? Like, say you were to learn French. They say when you learn another language, at first you are thinking in English, you translate it to French, and you reply to the person. Somebody says something back to you, and you hear it in that language, you translate it to English. But once you've practiced enough, you actually are hearing and speaking in that language without the in-between translation. So that's what we got going on here right now. I translate with the app to a watercolor thing. You could do the same if you wanted to get into doing some watercolors and expressing your artistic side and having some fun with it. And And then at some point, you know, that just, you stop having to have that in between, and you're able to reach out and, you know, expand because of that base knowledge, the muscle memory, and the imaginative memory muscle being flexed on a regular basis. First, we'll start with a little penciling in the silhouette. There's a lot to it, a lot of detail that happens here. If you look closely, you can notice that the eyeball isn't perfectly round, and it's a little almost egg shaped. It's a little fatter at this end towards the back of the fish and a little narrower towards the front end. Other ones have had blotches of white from like a harder light coming at a certain angle. There, that should do it. I'll lay down my base layers first. There's a lot that goes into an eyeball. You might not realize it when you're looking at it, but like for these fish, I'm using red, yellow, orange, green, white, purple, blue, and black to get that result. So I'm gonna lay in the yellow. It'll make it more bright and vibrant than the photo, but in the end it'll all work out to feel right. Blue for the center of the eye. I'm learning how to trust my strokes and have, like, let the brush come around and enjoy the length of the bristles. I'm also learning I have a lot to learn. I'll go around the outside with the black. Hey Google, stop timer. Get it all on there. Let's go put it on the smoker. It's almost, it's like been candy-ified. Maybe from all of the dry rub, like soaking out the water and replacing certain parts of it. Oh yeah. Makes a pile of smoke in there. Woo. Put that on for a couple hours and then and finish the eyeball. Now we'll just add a happy little glint to his murderous predatory eye and bring him to life. That looks sharp. Whew. Cool. I'm happy with that. Let's check on our stuff on the smoker. There we go. Some rice vinegar. Alright, we got our fancy knife. I haven't had a chance to use this yet. I got this in a trade at Georgia Bushcraft. There was this little girl who's going around trading up all this stuff. It's pretty nice looking. Super sharp. And we use this one for slicing up our avocado. Let's get our ingredients ready and then we'll get the fish off of the smoker. It's been on there for almost 3 hours now. Wanted it to get as like smoked and candied as possible. So these will be our little slices to go in with the rolls. So I do sushi almost every week for my kids and myself, and we usually just use stuff like this, like smoked salmon packets from the grocery store and crab, and this time we'll be using the pike. I got my bamboo cheat. I put it in a bag so it doesn't stick, and I already got a fresh bag on it, ready to go. Thinner slices, there'll be some thinner slices I'll put in some spring rolls. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Look at that. Look at that. This is where that knife's gonna come in handy because we're gonna make some real thin shavings of it. I only need a half one. Not a professional here at all. Just doing what I pretty sure I remember seeing done a while ago. Little seeds on the outside, some toasted sesames. Flip it over. I'll lay a couple slices of avocado, a couple slices of our pike. Butter's waiting for some to fall on the floor. Look at her over here. Here, let me give you a little taste. What do you think? She says, it's good. We'll go again.
We'll keep 'em coming till I pass out.
A little piece of cream cheese, and that should be good. Roll it over, tuck it in, and then roll it through, and then take the roller and roll, push, roll, push. Nope, I think we got it. We got our little rolls. You kind of want to get it just right. You want to do it in one cut. 2 cuts. I think I like my fillet knife better for this. Oh, maybe it's the fish itself. It's a little firmer than other stuff I put in the middle of my rolls. Alright, we got the little cup. It's not exactly a soy sauce thing, it should be flatter, but these are small, so they'll fit in there. And I have a smoked soy sauce from the Nantucket trip, and kind of a rosy. I think I'm gonna go with that, this lighter cherry blossom one, because we already got smoked fish, so we want a lighter flavor. Lightsaber chopsticks. Everything else so fancy, Japanese knife and all that, and we go with lightsaber chopsticks. Ginger, bit of the fish just plain on there to look good. Plop of the old wasabi. There's our beautiful hard work, and I haven't looked at it, but as much as it seems like I'm eating fish every single video, I'm not eating that much fish. I probably eat fish maybe once a month. People, you're not supposed to eat a certain amount of fish from lakes and get mercury poisoning and all that stuff. I haven't, it's been a couple of years since I was tested for it, so who knows where I'm at. I feel fine.
You're a doctor, is that normal?
Let's give it a go. Lord, thank you for this food. Thank you for the catch. In Jesus' name, amen. There's already sirens. You hear that? It's not for me. I haven't even taken a bite of this version yet. I stick it on the wasabi, pick up a little bit on the backside, then go into my soy sauce, and then go into the mouth. It's not as strong as I thought it was going to be, flavor-wise. It's so good. That's so amazing. These just turned out so good. I mean, this is honestly better than the salmon I did. The smoked salmon from Washington. I better stop eating these because I got company coming soon. I gotta make some more for them. Otherwise, it's gonna be a pretty hungry crowd and no food. Let's see what else we can make with these. He's a predator. The predator. Oh yeah, perfect fit on the glass. Oh yeah. Woo! It's kind of wild. That's kind of wild. Man, was that one a pain in the neck to print. But that's for you guys. This time, like we were saying before, the winner will be drawn from those of you that have donated. And what was the name of that one?
Direct Relief.
So yeah, we went with, there's some other ones that are out there, but Direct Relief seem to have like the highest rating of they give everything to the people. Like 99% of it, or don't quote me on that. but from what Aiden was looking up.
Charity Finder has it at 100%. It's
Charity, okay, there we go. That's why we picked it, and it's connected to YouTube, so you can use that button that we've included here. Where do you think it'll be? Somewhere? Top of the video, on a card, in the description below. It'll be multiple different places because it's literally connected and certified by YouTube. And that'll go to relief of medicines for people in the fires. And we'll draw the winner for the Pike one from that. And I guess that pretty much covers it. This is the end of this adventure. Stay tuned or watch other ones that we've already done. We've had a lot of fun adventures. And we got more to come. Headed to, where am I headed?
Minnesota?
Minnesota. I can never remember the name of it for some reason.
Hey, Minnesota is a very hip place to live.
Minnesota. Just gotta remember, Mini-soda. Dollhouse, mini-sodas. Word association, that's the only way I can remember things. So we'll be doing some fishing up there. I think we're gonna be meeting up with Sobe and some other people up there, and I'll be speaking at a Man Up North conference up there. So if you are up in the area, come and hear about being a man of God in this day and age. I'll be up there speaking on the 26th. So we will see you in the next one, if not sooner. Thanks for watching. Fowler out.
Butter. Up. Twirl. Good girl. There you go. Who's a happy dog now?
He doesn't look too predatory.
He looks pretty happy.
He looks like a happy bitey. That's what we call him, happy bitey.
The rest of him's cute though.
I wouldn't be very happy if I was swimming with him and he comes at me to like, you know, like a barracuda to seize like the gold on my finger, you know, like going after my wedding ring, like, I'm gonna lose a finger to this guy.
Yeah, you'd melt that thing right off.
Yeah.
Gula.